race were exchanged at Holloman Air Force Base in April of 1954. Within a year after that, it became obvious that the Greys had broken their agreement and were abducting far more people than they were reporting to the NSC, including large numbers of children. Sorry. The Majestic 12 realized that they had made a mistake in trusting the Greys, but there was little that they could do other than trying to keep everything secret in order to prevent a panic. The abductions turned out to be used for the insertion of tiny implant devices through the nasal cavity into the brain for purposes of monitoring, tracking, and control of the abductees, post-hypnotic suggestions were also introduced to have the abductee perform specific tasks during certain periods of time. Some of the abductees were killed in order to provide a living source of biological materials. Others were simply killed if they posed a threat to alien activities. Genetic experiments were conducted on others, and there were many, many women that were impregnated for 3-month pregnancies in order to conceive of crossbred infants. Now, in 1956, Air Force Sergeant Jonathan P. Levet was observed being abducted by a UFO. His mutilated body was discovered 3 days later, with the lower portion of his jaw and tongue removed, along with his eyes, anus, and genitals. There was no blood in the body or anywhere on the ground. Sounds a lot like an animal mutilation, doesn't it? Well, by 1958, Dreamland was in full operation to begin testing and evaluating the advanced technology that the Greys were providing to the government. Some of the alien craft were dismantled in order to find out how they worked. Unfortunately, our people were better at taking things apart than they were at putting them back together again. But some of the alien craft were fully operational and were test flown by American servicemen. The aliens also provided the fuel to power their craft. It turned out to be element 115, which cannot be found on the periodic chart of elements. An element that heavy cannot possibly be created here on Earth. They also discovered that none of the alien technology could be used against the aliens should the need arise. I'm going to now read for you the notes of a speech that was written by President John F. Kennedy, which he was going to deliver in a televised address to the nation. That is, until he was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. This is what he would have said. My fellow Americans, people of the world, today we set forth on a journey into a new era. One age, the childhood of mankind, is ending, and another age is about to begin. The journey of which I speak is full of unknowable challenges, but I believe that all of our yesterdays, all of the struggles of the past, have uniquely prepared our generations to prevail. Citizens of this earth, we are not alone. God, in His infinite wisdom, has seen fit to populate His universe with other beings, intelligent creatures such as ourselves. How can I state this with such authority? In the year 1947, our military forces recovered from the dry New Mexico desert the remains of an aircraft of unknown origin. Science soon determined that this vehicle came from the far reaches of space. Since that time, our government has made contact with the creators of this spacecraft. Although this news may sound fantastic and indeed terrifying, I ask you not to greet it with undue fear or pessimism. I assure you, as your president, that these beings mean us no harm. Rather, they promise to help our nation overcome the common enemies of all mankind: tyranny, poverty, disease, and war. We have determined that they are not foes, but friends. Together with them, we can create a better world. I cannot tell you that there will not be any stumbling or missteps along the road ahead, but I believe that we have found the true destiny of the people of this great land to lead the world into a glorious future. In the coming days, weeks, and months, you will learn more about these visitors, why they are here, and why our leaders have kept their presence a secret from you for so long. I ask you to look to the future not with timidity, but with courage, because we can achieve in our time the ancient vision of peace on earth and prosperity for all humankind. God bless you. This speech was handwritten by the President on index cards that have only recently been discovered. Professor Lawrence Merrick of Cambridge, Massachusetts, will be disclosing this speech in a new book entitled The Killing of the Messenger, The Death of JFK. Today, there are many underground bases in this country that are jointly used by aliens and humans, the most infamous of which is located near the town of Dulce, New Mexico. It is a biogenetics research facility with 7 or more levels. The top 3 levels contain offices, quarters, and facilities for the humans that live and work there. Level 4 has laboratories for human psychic research that are all geared toward the control and manipulation of humans. Level 5 is alien quarters, and Level 6 is the biogenetics research facility. It is commonly referred to as Nightmare Hall by the people who work there. This is where slave beings are bred to perform specific tasks. There are multi-legged beings that are half human and half octopus. There are cute little furry creatures that mimic human words and cry like a baby. There are also large mixtures of human lizards in cages, and there are birds, fish, seals, and mice that can be barely considered those species. There are also winged humanoids that are bat-like creatures between 3 and 7 feet tall. Now, level 7 is even worse, with row after row of thousands of human children and adults in cold storage. Here too are the embryo storage vats with humanoids in various stages of development. And there are many, many humans that are stored in clear cylindrical containers where they're suspended in a yellow or amber fluid, and they are alive and conscious but unable to move or to make a single sound. In 1979, a resistance movement was formed by the people who work there, and a confrontation broke out involving weapons between the humans and the aliens. When it was all over, 44 scientists and 66 military servicemen lost their lives. Today, the base is in full operation, and one can only imagine what they've accomplished in the 23 years since then. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a secret government in this country that is killing our children with drugs